Let's look at different dashboard panes. Now, as you can see over here, this is what a typical MicroStrategy dashboard can look like. And there are 6 panes: the visualization pane, the layouts pane, the dataset objects pane, the edit visualization pane, the filters pane, and the page by pane. I'm going to speak about each one of them. Let's take a look at the visualization pane. So this pane is the main analysis area where data is displayed in a grid or a graph, which are referred to as visualizations. So notice that you have an option to select the type of visualization that you want to display in your visualization pane, and you can either have a grid or you can have different kinds of graphs that are being shown over here. Layouts pane. To put it simply, each layout are like tabs. The layouts behave like tabs in a specific dashboard. Each layout can hold a different display of data within the visualization pane. One dashboard can have more than one layout. Consider dashboard as a report and consider layout as tabs in that report. Within layout, you can have sub layouts which are called as panels. So for example, in this layout over here, the developer has 3 panels, and you can have your own set of visualizations in those panels. So instead of probably having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs in that specific dashboard, the developer created 2 tabs and he created 3 panels within the first tab. You can also rename layout tabs, and you can also rename panels. What is the dataset object? Dataset object is simply a list of data that is available for use in the dashboard. So as I mentioned, when you want to build your dashboard, you need to have an underlying grid to it. So this underlying grid is your report that you would have created, like how we saw in all the previous exercises. Over there, you have something called as my report objects. Those form the dataset objects for your visualization. You can add or remove them directly in the dashboards, and if a dashboard is created from one grid report, you can have another grid report to be added as an additional dataset. We are going to look at the different dataset objects pane and how to and I'm going to show you what this looks like in the hands-on too. Now, the edit visualization pane is the area which controls the data that is shown in the visualization. So, using this pane, for example, this is the edit visualization pane for this dashboard. You can arrange the dataset objects that you want to include in your visualization. So for example, over here the user decided to group by call center, to let's say color by the number of customers and so on. This is where you decide how to display data in that specific visualization. And it's a simple drag and drop. You would have a dataset objects pane, drag it from that and place it in the edit visualization pane. Filters pane, just like, excuse me, just give me a minute. Just like you have filters in reports, in dashboards also you have filters. Filters display a subset of data in your visualization pane based on the conditions that you choose. Now, whatever you select in the filter will be displayed in the visualization pane over here. You can filter both on attributes. So for example, there is a filter on attributes, and you can also filter on metrics. And you have an option to also use a search box over here if you have long element lists. If you have noticed, there are many display options for filters. You have a checkbox, you can have a slider, you can have this less than, greater than option over here where you can enter the values. So as I mentioned, there are checkboxes, search box, slider, radio buttons, and drop down. Using a filter, you can also do ranking. For example, you can do a top end ranking, and you can decide what function you want to use, highest, lowest, and you want to rank by which attribute. Now, one important thing in the filtering pane is the in the filters pane is the filtering mode. Now, once you have a set of filters, you have three types of modes. One is no filtering, filter all below, and filter all. What does no filtering do? No filtering won't affect any other filter. Filter all below, that is, if you choose values selected in a specific filter, it will affect all the filters that are placed below it. And filter all will affect all the values selected in the values selected in the filter will affect all the filters that are being placed in the visualization. Let me show you with an example. Now, filter all below. That is, let's say that you have category and you have subcategory over here. The minute you choose any specific category, it's going to show you the related subcategories. So for movies, it shows you the genres of the movies which are the subcategory values. And let's say if I select books, because I chose the option filter all below, I will see the related subcategories. Now, in scenario 2 again, I just swapped category and subcategory. I decided to choose, so I decided to choose all the subcategories over here. However, but since I set filter all below, MicroStrategy tries to understand that. Actually, I beg your pardon. I think there's a mistake in this screenshot over here. I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to just take a quick look at this slide in my in the break, and I will get back to you on this. I'm sorry about this. Now, just a quick note, if there are more than one visualizations in the layout, you can use one of them to be set as a filter. So in this screenshot over here, the grid is used as a filter to the graph. That is, I have an option where I'm saying whatever is chosen in this grid should be filtered out in the respective graph. So the minute I choose central as the region, only the data related to that specific region gets displayed in the graph. We have a hands-on for this and I'm going to show it to you. Page by pane, we saw that yesterday also in a report. With the use of a page by pane, you have the ability to view information dynamically page by page, and it's helpful when there is too much data in the visualization. So for example, in this screenshot over here, year has been placed in the page by pane, and you can view data. If I click on 2010, this graph would change to all the values related to 2010. Hence here when 2012 is selected, you see only the quarters that are related to 2012. Like how you have any graph, similarly even in dashboards you have a graph properties pane. There is nothing much to talk about this. It's more of it's more like a trial and run feature. So you have the fit to panel. You can change the shapes of the bar chart. Do you want lines? Do you want stacks? Then you can hide or show the data labels. You can hide or show the legend. There is column alignment, then borders and lines, and so on.